I transferred to University of Illinois at Chicago to pursue my bachelor's in accounting degree. And I think it was a smooth process thanks to the courses that I took at Harold Washington College. I found that I was completely prepared.
My next step is continuing my education in business, and I want to transfer to four-year university. I accepted in 6 universities, and I'm waiting for more, and I have 2 full ride scholarships.
After Harold Washington College, I plan on transferring to DePaul University to finish my bachelor's in computer science.
Walking the halls here in Harold Washington gives me a sense of pride. It makes me feel good about myself that I was able to finish what I started.
2 years ago, I moved from Iran to start a new life here. I didn't know I can even survive in this country. Now I'm graduating as a valedictorian, and it's really bigger my dreams.
I'm 34, and at this point in my life, I've worked every kind of job you can think of, and it always comes back to education. And I just got tired of working jobs. I wanted a career. I wanted to make a difference in this world, and I knew the only way I could do that is through my education. I'm going to Mount Holyoke College on a full ride scholarship for 2 years.
All right, everyone, welcome. Welcome to Harold Washington's virtual college experience. So I want all of the attendees to know that you guys cannot say anything, so you cannot talk and you cannot ask questions in a live setting, but we do have a Q&A feature at the bottom, and I see that someone has already commented on our Q&A. But you can ask questions there and we'll be able to respond with questions in real time. If a presenter asks you a question, you can type your answers in that Q&A as well. And then you can also raise your hand and we can call on you so you can say a comment or ask a question live. But again, the entire presentation, you are muted and you can't see the other participants, but we could see you here and we can see who's here and when you raise your hand. So I just want to make sure that you know how to use it. If you are using your phone to listen to this webinar, make sure that you scroll to the right when we have a panel speaking so that you could see all of the faces on your phone and not just a blank screen. So again, if you're using your phone to come in, make sure that you swipe to the right so that you could see all of the panel participants. You can see their faces as they talk. So today's event is about 2 hours and we have various topics and various speakers. And again, we want to hear from you. We want your feedback. So just make sure you use that question and that Q&A feature at the bottom. So now that I've gone over some logistics, I want to formally introduce myself. My name is Carla Rubalcava, and I'm the Director of Enrollment at Harold Washington College. I will not be talking to you the entire time. Again, we have a lot of speakers, so we don't bore you, and we hope that this is a great experience for you. And at the end of this, you have a broad understanding of all of the things that we have to offer at Harold Washington College.
Hi, welcome everyone to Harold Washington College's virtual experience. We're really excited to have you here and we hope we're able to capture all the academic programs and resources that can be found on our campus. So my name is Manny. I was part of the class of 2019 at Jones College Prep, and I'm currently finishing up my 2nd semester at Harold Washington. I'm working towards an associate's degree in music, and Harold Washington College is a really good choice for any sort of music degree because of all of the wide range of opportunities and resources that we have. such as the piano labs, the practice rooms, the great recording studio, lots of resources that all students can use to help better their musical abilities. I'm hoping to transfer to a four-year college after Harold Washington, and I'm really looking at Columbia College as my top choice. My classmate and I are here to give you a general overview of Harold Washington College, and here he is.
Hi, I'm the classmate. My name is Luke. I'm also in my second semester here at Harold Washington. I graduated from John F. Kennedy High School down by Midway, and I am pursuing an associate's degree in political science. And then I would like to transfer to the University of Chicago and try and get a bachelor's degree in political science. Excuse me. And obviously that's a very competitive school. So I'm, working on my grades, trying to keep the GPA up, and also trying to build a resume and prove myself as a hard worker by doing stuff like this, where I work as a student ambassador. I work at the school and help my fellow students in a bunch of different ways. Sometimes I work at the Disability Access Center. Sometimes I work at the testing center. Wherever I'm needed on a given day, I work in the school and help my fellow students with whatever problems they're experiencing. And so, as you can see here, we are part of City Colleges of Chicago, which contains 7 different schools to give you a lot of different possible ways to pursue your academic goals, whatever they may be. You can see here within City Colleges of Chicago, you've got 7 schools, some of which are towards the north side, some of which are towards the south side, and some of which are kind of right in the middle of the city. And we also have those 5 satellite locations on the right, as you can see, and you can take online classes if you would like. So we have a lot of different ways in a lot of different places to make sure that no matter where you are, no matter who you are in the city of Chicago, that you can pursue whatever academic goals you have. And as you can see here, all of the schools in in City Colleges of Chicago has a specialization or a center of excellence. Now, all of the schools have gen ed classes. So if you just want to get your gen eds out of the way at a city college and then transfer to a 4-year university, you can absolutely do that at any of these 7 schools across the city of Chicago. But they also have specializations if any of these interest you. So as you can see here, Harold Washington College's specialization or center of excellence is business and professional services. And we have a lot of resources to help you if that's what you want to pursue. There are people who will help you write a resume and write a cover letter, and we can help you get internships. And really, it's a great way to get your foot in the door if that's what you want to do with your life.
So as Luke mentioned, Harold Washington College's Center of Excellence is Business and Professional Services. Our location in the busy Loop neighborhood, right in the center of Chicago, puts us in a great position to give students plenty of resources and preparation for the worlds of finance, insurance, accounting, paralegal work, and even things like digital multimedia design and digital marketing. Through its corporate and community partners, Harold Washington College offers coveted apprenticeships and internships to many of its ambitious business students. These kinds of opportunities often lead to full-time jobs. The college also has unique on-campus features, such as an audio recording studio, and offers several credentials in fine arts, music, and architecture.
And these are just some facts about the students here at Harold Washington. There are about 11,000 of us, and the vast majority of us do receive financial aid. It's 77% of us to be exact. We have a 30-to-1 student to faculty ratio, so the class sizes are not that big. 49% of our students are full-time and 51% are part-time. So whether you want to go to school full-time or part-time, we can accommodate both, and we have both in about equal numbers. And the average age of a Harold Washington College student is 23 years old. And you can see here that these are, our 5 most popular zip codes where students tend to come from. We've got South Lawndale, Archer Heights, Chicago Lawn, Lower West Side, and Douglas. So, by the way, feel free to put your neighborhood or your high school in the chat if you want to represent. But yeah, this is where the most students come from. These are the top zip codes. And as you can see here, we have a very diverse group of students. We actually have the most diverse group of students out of all of the 7 schools within City Colleges of Chicago. So we're very proud of that, obviously. And as you can see here, with sort of the age breakdown of Harold Washington students, we do have some dual enrollment students, high school students trying to take a class in college already to get a head start. But most people, as you can see, most people at this school are coming straight out of high school. But obviously, if that's not what you're doing, it's also perfectly fine. But on average, like I said, the average age here is 23. So most of the people are fairly young and are straight out of high school.
So now here's a breakdown of what our students are studying right now. You guys can see that the most popular categories are our Center of Excellence, which is Business and Professional Services. Course enrollees is another one. That's a combination of our early college program, and you guys will hear more about that later, and students that are not seeking a degree, but just here to take one to two courses. And our biggest portion, which just over 30% of our student population falls under, human sciences, or those majors that are considered liberal arts. This makes sense because so many of the students that come here, like Luke and I, are looking to transfer to a 4-year university so they are here to do a general degree or major that can transfer. So I hope you have a better understanding of Harold Washington College now. We have more presentations coming up that highlight all the great things our college has to offer. And remember, if you have any questions, please make sure to submit it via the chat feature.
Carla, you're muted.
Hi guys, sorry about that. So don't forget to submit your questions and any comments that you have throughout the chat via the question and answer. And so I see that we have a student from the 60653 area code. We also have some other students from Southwest Side and Southside schools. So again, make sure that you participate and engage using that chat feature. Sorry, let me go back.
Okay, so now I'm excited to introduce you guys to the president of Harold Washington College, Dr. Daniel Lopez.
All right, Manny, is that my cue?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, okay, wonderful. Thank you both, Luke and Manny, for introducing me, for being part of this wonderful event today. Carla and all her team and all the Harold Washington staff for making this event possible. You know, as I was looking at the early part of the presentation, it made me feel really proud, more proud than I was before about Harold Washington. We have some wonderful students that you already have met who are not only doing well academically, but they are really connecting and engaging at the college. So thank you. So welcome everyone. As Manny said, my name is Daniel Lopez. I'm the president of the college. And so today concludes what we call the virtual college exploration week for the Chicago Public Schools, where we involve parents, principals, counselors, and the community to learn about what we have to offer here at the city colleges. And so this was an event that was sponsored by both the Chicago Public Schools and the mayor's office. And the idea, once again, was to bring you information about what we have to offer at the city colleges, and of course, in this session, about Harold Washington. So, you know, I think it's important for you to know a little bit about me. I am one of those CPS high school students that many years ago finished high school, didn't know what I wanted to do. My family and I at the time were undocumented. I'm a first-generation college student, came from Mexico at the age of 10, so I was an immigrant and an English as a second language student. And so I happened to stumble upon Harold Washington. And just like Luke and Manny, I was really involved when I was a student there. And as a result, I decided to make this as a career for me. So I'm really excited to be back at the college as the president after having been there for 2 years to complete an associate's degree, and then moved to the four-year university to complete a bachelor's degree on a full ride. And I wouldn't have done that without Harold Washington. And then I did a master's degree and a PhD as well, and have worked in higher education since the very beginning, including my first job was here at Harold at the admissions office, doing something very similar to what Luke and Manny are doing today. So it's really, really a pleasure to be here at the college and having had those experiences. So I've only been a president here at the college for 3 months, believe it or not. And some of the things that I'm working on are making sure that we continue to be a student-centered institution, responding to the needs of the students. We have many wraparound services and support services for our students, and we're going to be adding a couple more things as we move forward. One of them is the centralization of services for undocumented students. So look for information about that as we roll out this new initiative here at the college. We obviously provide a pathway for students who want to come in and take their first 2 years here at the college and then move to a four-year university. But it's also for students who want to come in and earn a certificate or a short-term degree to get into the workforce. So we do that as well. And so one of the beautiful things I think about Harold Washington is that as a student, you get the opportunity to explore. And I know that happened to me. I can tell you that I had about 4 different majors at Harold because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So that gave me an opportunity to explore different things. I went from business to science to all these different things. And believe it or not, I ended up with a bachelor's degree in communication. So I think you will find that Harold Washington will prepare you and allow you to explore different opportunities for you. As Manny mentioned, we also have our Center of Excellence, which is the area that focuses on business and professional services. So if this is an area of interest to you, you are at the right place. And of course, our liberal arts programs, we have a number of them, excuse me, including, you know, music recording studio, a photography lab, ceramics, and believe it or not, we even have a cadaver on campus. And as a former biology student, I can tell you that I have worked on those cadavers. I hope it's not the, I don't know if it's the same one, the one that I worked on when I was a student, but I know we have them. And so I wanted just to mention to you as I conclude that the college is very centered on students. We want to make sure that you come here and that we help you accomplish whatever it is that you are planning to do here at the college. And we have a very committed faculty and staff. You will meet many of them today. And so if you come to Harold Washington, I am sure you are going to be a successful student, not just for Harold, but for other things and beyond. So thank you very much for being here today. I'm going to stick around for a little bit for a few questions, and then I will sign off and let you carry on with your day. Go ahead, Carla.
So guys, if you have any questions for our president, again, make sure to use the Q&A feature on your desktop or on your phone. It's at the bottom. It's the middle button on your phone. So if there are any questions, we're going to go ahead and continue with the presentation. All right, guys, up next is one of our amazing advisors, Melissa. So she's going to tell you a little bit more about what kind of degrees and programs we have to offer here at Harold Washington.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. As Carla mentioned, my name is Melissa, and I'm a college advisor at Harold Washington. And I've been with the City Colleges system for about 5 to 6 years now. So I really love the students we get to work with. So I hope some of you do choose Harold for your college destination of choice, hopefully for the summer or the fall semester. One thing as an advisor, we really like our students to think about is their future. So whether it's, I just want to earn an associate degree, or I eventually think I want a bachelor's degree, it's really smart and helpful to start thinking ahead. We do offer different degrees to help help move you towards those different goals. Whether that first option, the associate degree to transfer to a 4-year college, what an advisor like myself can do is help you choose classes that do plug into the degrees at your dream schools. Whether it be in Chicago, in Illinois, or sometimes I do research schools with my students out of state or overseas. So wherever you want to go, it's literally my goal to help you get there. We also have in that middle column the associate degrees that transfer directly into a workforce. Those are called applied science degrees. Those degrees are more technical and career oriented. So instead of general education classes like more math and science and humanities courses, if perhaps you're into paralegal studies, you're going to be learning exactly what you're going to be doing on a day-to-day basis in your career. And the third offering on the last column, you see certificates. Those are short-term programs, sometimes 1 or 2 semesters, that allow you to really focus your education on what you're doing in a career, perhaps banking or human resources. And then we, partner you with our career planning and placement department to move you into a role that you're pursuing. And you see some of those options here. So again, the basic certificates are very short term, sometimes 2 to 4 months. 1 semester is about 16 weeks. And sometimes our students can earn a credential that will land them their dream job in something just as short. Advanced certificates are a little bit longer. And then of course that associate degree, we say it's a 2-year degree, and that's what a lot of people hear out in like the school world. But an associate degree or any of these certificates take as long as you need it to take. Okay, so whether it's 2 years or 3 years, or you have job and family obligations that kind of force you to be a part-time student, that's completely okay. We work with that pace. And as an advisor, whether the job market changes or credential courses change, we kind of help you along to make sure you're staying on top of the game. And one really cool thing about being a City Colleges student is that, let's say you walk in the door wanting a short-term certificate, and then maybe go out and work in that field for a good year, 2 years. You can always come back because our credentials are stackable. So if you earn so many credits to earn that basic certificate, you can come back perhaps to earn more credits to add that advanced certificate, and then general education courses to complete your full associate degree. And there are different types of degrees depending on what you would like to pursue in the future. The first 2 degrees, the associate in arts and the associate in science, are super transferable, meaning about half of the work you do are general education classes, again, like math and science and history and those types of options. And then the other half of those 2 degrees is more towards your major, okay? So if you are an arts student, an associate in arts students are things like, Luke is pursuing political science, that's an arts degree, psychology, business, where you're going to be taking classes in your electives that are a little bit more tailored toward your future career goal. We want to make sure you get some exposure to a field like political science or psychology, criminal justice before you really start pursuing it and paying four-year university prices for it. So you get that exposure to kind of play around with different ideas in the electives. So those two first degrees are very transferable. The lower degrees, while still transferable, you know, if we do planned that way, they're tailored towards specific paths. The AES, the Engineering Studies degree, is more geared towards, of course, engineering students. The AGS is a very customizable degree. So very few spelled out for you general education classes, and students have much more electives to choose. I don't want to say willy-nilly because I like to help my students tailor their path a little bit better, but you get to choose classes that either maybe can plug into a Bachelor of Science in Nursing program at like UIC or Rush or Resurrection, but allow you to customize your degree better. The AAS, yes, the Associate in Applied Science, is a career-oriented degree. Okay, so again, like our paralegal studies, where you're more focused on your career classes versus the general education classes. And the AFA, the Associate in Fine Arts, plugs into, you know, it's still a 2-year or could be a 2-year associate degree that plugs into maybe a bachelor's in fine arts. So it's more studio classes, art classes, more hands-on work. We have partnerships that accept that AFA with Columbia. I have students at Northern Illinois University who have fully transferred their AFA. So partnerships, you know, all over the city that take all of these associate degrees fully. And something new that the City Colleges offers, and you'll find that at all 7 of the colleges, is our General Education Core Curriculum, or the GECC. Higher education loves acronyms. It's very short term, and it is not a certificate program, and it is not a degree program, but it allows students, perhaps from high school, if you know, again, you definitely want that bachelor's degree, and maybe you want to transfer sooner rather than later. The GECC is a really good credential that allows you to complete all of your general education classes at a city college with city college prices, and then transfer to your university to pursue whatever major it is that you are all looking to pursue, whether, again, it's business or in the sciences, math, education, okay? All of the classes that you would take to complete the GECC fall under what's called the Illinois Articulation Initiative, which means that they're guaranteed to transfer. There's no wiggle room. If you're applying to 6 different schools with this GECC in the state of Illinois, all 6 schools are going to accept that credential. And as an advisor, I know our office is all very different, and there's a lot of ways our advisors like to support students. One way we're doing that right now is with drop-in Zoom appointments or appointments via Grades First, which is a tool our students have at the college that allows you to see my schedule, where I have openings, and then perhaps where we can match and meet. Advisors host new student orientations, and really we help students plan their classes to complete their, you know, ideal degrees or certificates. Or sometimes it's a lot of that exploration conversation stuff. If you have no idea what it is you're at the college for, or what you're in just college in general for, we have those conversations too to help kind of narrow out options that you know you don't want to do and figure out maybe some interests that you have had that you don't know is an actual degree. You know, whether it's, you know, public service, you want to be a police officer because, you know, that's been your dream, but you really didn't know that, you know, that could be an option for you. Or I have students who discover they're interested in neuroscience and psychology after taking just one course. There are both options for us to really sit down with you to plan those transfer destination schools and how you're going to get there. And then of course, you know, I was once told that I keep my ears to the street for my students, and I try to as much as possible to refer them to as many on and off campus resources. Whether it's a student who wants to explore like spoken word, what kind of really cool Chicago resources do we have for that? And there are a lot. Or I'm interested in working for this particular company. So we'll look on the website to see what maybe entry level or internship positions are available. So advisors tend to get really creative when it comes to serving students, but I serve my students as much or in as whatever creative ways that they want to be served. So some students are very hands-off and independent. I'm okay with that, but I'm here for whatever my students, you know, want to talk about or have me listen to.
Thank you so much, Melissa. So I am going to ask again if any students have any questions about Melissa, her presentation. This is the time to ask her if you have any questions. We have an advisor here, so as you guys are thinking about if you're considering city colleges and not sure about what it is that you should be doing first, or how you could be exploring some of these degrees, this is the time to ask. And if you don't have a question now, it's okay. Whenever it comes to mind, just go ahead and plug it in on that Q&A and we'll be here to answer.
In that Q&A, I'd love to hear what some of your thoughts are. What majors are you thinking of pursuing? I've never met a student that we can't help start. So we have a good start for literally a lot of career options, almost every career option I could probably think of, to help you start that path. So what are some of your majors? I want to see those in the Q&A. Don't be shy. I see education, Vanessa, great path. We could definitely help you get started there. And you know, if we get to talk later, we could talk about some maybe four-year schools that offer really great education programs here in Illinois. Photography and digital media, really great. Social work, fantastic.
Computer
really cool.
science.
Great. Computer science. See, all of those programs and pathways, we can help you get started at Harold. Wanted to focus on film, great. We have some cool like audio and technical classes through our digital multimedia department in the art department. Early childhood ed, great. What college should I attend? So early childhood can definitely be like started and finished at Harold Washington with an associate in arts degree. And you know, sometimes if we do hear through the grapevine that one of our sister colleges like Truman, whose Center of Excellence is education, if they're hosting a career fair, I'd love you to be with us at Harold, but then I can, you know, of course, share that information about a career fair or, you know, something different happening at one of our other campuses. Just because you're a Harold student, you have access to a lot of the other resources at the other campuses. Great job. Neuroscience and psychology, see? I hear that all the time. You guys are so brilliant. Yes, we can definitely help you with the application later. Business with music electives, really cool too. Yep, all of that at Harold Washington. You guys have all made the good choice. The best choice.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for your input and feedback. We're excited to tell you more about some of the opportunities that exist for some of the things that you've highlighted already. So let's go back to this PowerPoint. And this goes a little bit in line with some of the things that you guys are bringing up. So here are, Melissa talked about the degrees that are available, but within those degrees, we do have concentrations. So here are all the concentrations, academic concentrations that are available at Harold Washington College. I won't read through them. I just wanted to show you to make sure that you know that we're really varied. Again, some of you guys mentioned biology, neurology, so we have biological sciences, art, architecture, world language, political science. For those that are looking at communications and business, obviously we have it here. That's our Center of Excellence. So these are all the academic concentrations that you can select within those degrees that Melissa mentioned. So at this moment, this next segment of our presentation, I actually want to highlight some of the academic departments that we have here at Harold Washington. Our Center of Excellence is business and professional sciences, but as you remember, I hope you remember, actually I can go back to, oh, sorry guys. I can go back to the slide that Luke presented in the front, in the beginning of our presentation. We have students that are coming from that are coming to study at Harold Washington, but not all of them are here because they want to do business and professional services. So our top three concentrations or focus areas here at Harold Washington are business and professional services, our course and RE, so our early college program, so students that are currently in high school and doing dual credit or dual enrollment. And then we have all those others. So a lot of human sciences, a lot of students that are coming here to take care of those gen eds are helping with the help of advisors like Melissa, sort of mapping out what their major will be like when they go and get their bachelor's. And so they're here for that. And so for that reason, I do want to highlight some of the other departments, non-business and professional services that exist here. So where I'll start first, obviously, is going to be with our premier, our hallmark program. So we are the city colleges for that focuses on business and professional services. So what does that mean really? So basically what this means is that this school is very intentional about the resources, the partners, both with corporate, right, employers, but also with four-year universities. So we are very intentional about partnering with those institutions that can ultimately get you to jobs in finance and business and accounting and marketing, right? We want to create a pipeline for students to go into those jobs from here. And so the way that we're creating these pipelines is, again, from here, you get your associates in business or your associates in some concentration, and then you go to Roosevelt, you go to DePaul, you go to Illinois State, you go to UIC, and you continue with that business focus and earn your bachelor's there. If you are not looking to attend a four-year university and want to start in banking and want to start as a paralegal, you can also earn a degree here, and we have so many partners that are eager and willing to hire our students. We also have job boards within our college, right? And we have a whole department that helps you with accessing those business and professional services jobs. In addition to the resources and the partners that we have and our location, that's the other thing that we mentioned early on in the presentation. We are downtown, and so we are really at the hub of where most organization, corporate offices, startups are. And so that access based on proximity is really important for us and for our Center of Excellence. The other thing I want to highlight here when it comes to our Center of Excellence is we have an entire Business Associates of Arts that is online. So a completely online degree for you in business. If you are currently working or thinking about working, maybe navigating work and school, this is a great option. For my CPS students though, I think, and Melissa, you can chime in if I'm wrong, I think it is valuable for you to have the face-to-face experience, a little bit more of an engaged space rather than online. You can take some face-to-face classes and maybe a couple of online classes to try it, but it does run a little faster, and you do need a lot of time management skills in order to do a completely online degree. So that is our Center of Excellence. And again, I want to highlight some of the other departments that exist at our college. And so with us today, we also have Dr. Asif Wilson. He's the Associate Dean of Instruction here at Harold Washington, and he's going to tell you a little bit more about these additional opportunities and focus areas that we have at the college.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm so happy that you're spending your time with us this Friday afternoon. Like Carla said, my name's Asif, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the Department of Interdisciplinary Studies, which you probably have some questions about. What is that? What does it do? What's the function? But before I start to explain a little bit about that, I want to ask you a few questions. And this goes for everybody on the call, both the presenters and our future students. So I want you to think about your experience going to college or that first time when you attended Harold Washington. And did you have questions about college? Were you dealing with stress? Or are you dealing with stress? Are you trying to figure out how to navigate work and school and life? Do you have questions about where you are headed? You know, Dr. Lopez talked earlier about he changed majors several times. You know, that's something we want you to do and explore in the college. And then finally, do you have questions around how you can feel more connected to people around the college? Even though we're a commuter campus, we really rely on our small class sizes in an effort to build deeper relationships with all the students that we come into the building. So if you answered yes to any of those questions, and there's a laundry list of more that the courses within interdisciplinary studies can help you to figure out, then interdisciplinary studies is the right home for you. So as the coordinator of this department, I think it's unlike some of our traditional departments like math or biology or humanities, for example, that have a list of courses that they offer specific to particular topics. And so interdisciplinary studies is really a department that's really there to support you being successful in college. And so we have a number of courses that we offer that are related to college success, getting to know yourself and the school, thinking about your future career. And we're still developing more things related to imagining where you're going to be after, Harold Washington, in your next dream school or your next job. So the Department of Interdisciplinary Studies is really there to support you with all the questions that you have. It's there to support you feeling more connected to your colleagues, to new students, and the support staff and faculty that are there to support you in the college. And what we're finding is that when students can feel better about themselves when they walk into school, right? That goes for high school if you're there right now, that goes for our workplaces, and it certainly applies to college, that if we feel better about ourselves when we walk through that door, if we have confidence that we do have the skills to succeed, then we actually do better in school, right? Study after study is revealing this. In the Department of Interdisciplinary Studies and the courses we offer in there are places for you to reflect on the skills, the brilliance, the talent that you all have. And sometimes we operate in the world and we are told that we don't have skills, that we don't belong in places, that we're less than. And the courses there in college success, regardless of what neighborhood you come from, regardless of what your GPA was in high school or your SAT score, or how many days you missed because of the teacher strike, or how much class you might have missed now because now we're in remote learning. For a number of circumstances, we want to meet you wherever you come in, however you come to that door. And so when you step foot into Harold Washington, Interdisciplinary Studies is there to meet you at the door and help you and support you and coach you through navigating the complexities of college. College is different than high school. It's different than a workplace. It might be challenging, but you don't have to do all that work by yourself. And we are there to be your thought partner, your homie, your cousin, your mom, your therapist to some degree, and really someone who's going to have your back no matter what as you succeed in our college environment. So I'm happy to answer any questions that folks have about, being a student, about our courses, about major stuff we've talked about already. But I don't want to sit here and talk too much to you this afternoon.
So one of the original questions that Dr. Wilson asked is, do you have any worries or stresses now? And maybe I want to ask a broad question of like, what are you most worried about or concerned about when it comes to starting college? Can you guys use your Q&A feature so you can tell me a little bit about what is the one thing that worries you or has you thinking a little stressed when you think about college or starting college in next year or in the next 2 years? Don't be shy, guys.
So not getting to my class on time. I mean, that's the beauty about a college schedule, is that we offer courses. If you're a morning person, we have 8 a.m. courses. If you're an afternoon person, I've read research that says, our brains really don't turn on until about 10 o'clock. So you should feel your brain turning on right now, actually, right? So We offer courses in the afternoon. And then if you're working, you like to, you know, enjoy your day, we offer evening courses, Saturday courses, online courses to really meet you in ways that fit yourself. The cost, yeah, certainly. I feel for college students that have to make a decision now because college costs more than it ever did. But the beauty about city colleges and Harold Washington is we have a number of opportunities, and even to subsidize your college costs, that means to decrease your college costs. But you have the STAR Scholarship. We have a number of in-house scholarships that are supporting STEM students. There's foundation scholarships. There's undocumented student scholarships. We want to provide you with as much financial support as we can. And even after all of that, we have some of the cheapest tuition in the country. So you're getting a great education, transferable, employable, but for a pretty cheap price. Let's see what else is here. Getting involved, even with the current circumstances of COVID-19. Yes, absolutely. And I'm so grateful to have been able to spend some time this year with our Student Government Association. And since March 16th, I have attended a student fashion show. There's a comedy club coming up. We have open mics online where people can showcase their talent. So there are a number of opportunities. And believe it or not, our Student Government Association has the largest budget on campus. So we give the most money directly to students, and that money is supposed to be spent directly on students. So I think the Student Government Association is a great way for you to be involved, but also to build a community in what seemingly is like what we call a commuter campus, where students come, they don't necessarily live there, and then you go back to your communities. But even in this remote and online ecosystem, our student clubs and the Student Government Association have really stepped up to try to build some sense of community, to try to find some humor in this stuff, and to think about how they're supporting students from other students on campus. Really great stuff. And maybe we can invite you to some of those upcoming events that are happening this week, next week. Not starting off right because I messed up in high school. I hear that oftentimes from students. And I think that's one of the beauties about Harold Washington. It doesn't matter, again, what neighborhood you come from, what GPA you had, what SAT score you had, how many, if you were like me, you spent a lot of time in the dean's office, you know, a lot of time in Saturday detention. And none of that matters, because when you come to Harold Washington, you're just a Harold Washington student. That means you get a fresh start. That means you start over your academic history. That means you start over who you are. And part of going to college is figuring out yourself, maturing, and becoming a new person. And we want to support you in all those processes. Let's see, what else is in here? Just scholarship, and if college is for me. I think we ask that question all the time. Is college for me? Do I belong here? And one of the things I really enjoy about our college success classes is that's a question we ask all the time. And I want to tell you that you are not alone in that. And one of the things that we found is that when we put students in a room, a student from La Villita may not think that they have the same experiences as a student from North Lawndale. But actually, what we find is that when students start to talk about their lives and their experiences, and you share what you like, what's stressing you out, that we're more connected than we are different. And what may be was somebody who you didn't think you would get along with is somebody that's now your best friend, that person who's going to have your back and support you. Not only the professor, not only people like Melissa and Carla that are here to support you, but your colleagues, your future friends are going to be relationships that you build and start at Harold Washington, but that will last a lifetime. Carla, do you want to answer this question around the requirements for the STAR scholarship, or Melissa?
I'm on and I can.
We also have, we have it coming up too in the financial aid portion. So just so that you guys, I'll just do a quick one because I don't want to dismiss your question. So CPS graduate, 3.0 GPA, and you have to have a certain test score on your SAT and ACT. And again, we'll go over the exact like test scores or other ways to get that college level requirement for your test in the presentation coming up. But again, as Dr. Wilson mentioned, we have so many supports for you here, including ways to figure out how to pay for school. And I just saw someone else mention, if you meet the GPA but not the SAT, again, there's more than one way to meet that college-ready requirement, and we'll go through it during the financial aid portion.
Any other questions? I hope you all have your application filled out. You're ready to join us. You might be able to start as soon as summer. Those classes are still open. And if not, we're ready to meet you in the fall, whether that's virtually or in the online environment if you choose to take online courses, or face-to-face, and we get to meet you at the door.
Thank you so much, Asif. Thank you, Dr. Wilson. Melissa, thank you for staying on and answering questions. So we're gonna keep on going with the presentation. And then just to remind you, at any point, if you have questions about anything that is said, go ahead and chat them in the Q&A section and we'll get to them. I see that Melissa, myself, and some of our ambassadors are answering in real time. So just keep it up with the engagement. We'll have, again, a lot of more speakers coming up, some videos, so hopefully we'll keep this moving and it doesn't feel, we're trying to make it feel like you are in our community and in our college, and I hope that we're able to achieve this in this remote setting.
Thank you, everybody. I hope you have a great weekend, and I look forward to meeting you. We really pride ourselves on the personal relationships at Harold Washington, and although I'm got a fancy title and an office on the 11th floor of the building, my door is always open, and I'm here to support you. I want to meet you and find out who you are and what ways we can support you in the Institute. So I look forward to that meeting and that conversation soon. You all take care.
Thank you. All right, guys, so you just heard about interdisciplinary studies, not students, interdisciplinary studies. Sorry, I just saw that typo. And now, again, I want to talk to you a little bit more about some of the departments that exist here. So another one that I'd like to highlight is our Art, Architecture, and Digital Multimedia Design department here at Harold Washington. So we offer students a wide range of opportunities so that you can study studio art, applied art, performing arts. We have programs that are geared towards if you're looking to transfer to a four-year institution, or maybe in the case of architecture, you might want to find a job right away, right? And what I've heard from our art department and our art faculty is that starting at Harold Washington, especially with studio art, is such a great advantage for the best art schools, because you have these 2 years to really build your skill and an incredible portfolio to show when you're applying to that four-year institution. So when it comes to art, architecture, and digital multimedia design, we have, these are the degrees and certificates that we offer on that orange table right there. I'll highlight the architecture program in this slide. So with architecture, again, we have the ability to have you transfer so that you can finish your bachelor's in architecture, but also start working. So we have a program here currently where you can be employed as a draft person or an architecture draft person right out of Harold Washington. And so we have partnerships with architecture design firms, with interior design firms, with engineer firms, right? So you can be consultants or work with architects, various contractors, fabricators, and realtors in the area that are here and ready to hire you. So if this is something that is interests you, again, because of our location, there's a lot happening in our loop, and we are making sure to connect with those companies, with those organizations, so that the students are not only learning the skill in the classroom, but have access to some of that on the job training. So in this slide, you're able to see some of the work that our students have done in our studio art classes. So a lot of what you see here is actually our ceramics and sculpture classes. Our 8th floor is really a joy to see. You guys are going to be surprised by our photography labs, our digital labs. We have a dark room for black and white photography, but we also have the only color dark room in the state. So many of those colored dark rooms have closed. And so we have one of the only ones that is left in our state. But yeah, it's a great, like I mentioned earlier, when I talk to the art faculty, one of the things that they say again and again is, if you are looking to do studio art, Harold Washington is a great place to enhance your skill and really build up that portfolio. So when you show up to your art school, you have so many examples of your art and your technique and the skill that you have learned here, right? Sometimes we don't get those options in high school, right? Because we're taking all of our math and science and English courses. But here at Harold, you have that option to really work on your craft so you can be ready for the next step. And then again, similar to our last slide, here is some of the work of our students in our digital multimedia design class. So here it's a very hands-on program. It's going to help you really build up all of the artistic and creative tools sets. So you'll learn how to use all the programs that current multimedia and digital design studios and companies are using, and you'll be able to craft your own website, right? Design the website, right? Work on graphic design, learn all about it, right? And start working on that. You'll be able to create videos, old school DVDs, right? Who uses DVDs? I don't know. As well as desktop apps, right? So a lot of what you do on your phone has been created to those engineers and those folks that do graphic design and do multimedia, digital multimedia concentrations in school. So you get a taste of all of this through the programs that we have here at Harold Washington. The other focus area, the other department that I want to focus on next is business, theater, and dance. So this is another surprise, I think, when I talk about it with high school students. They don't realize, like, oh, Harold Washington has like a recording studio. They do what kind of dance? But again, we are downtown. And so we really take advantage. Our faculty, our deans are constantly going out to our neighbors and seeing what other opportunities are there for our students? What other areas should we explore and enhance? And music, theater, and dance is one that we continue to build year after year. So our music program provides really top quality music education. We have a really broad curriculum when it comes to music. So you can focus on the business of music, on music technology. You can also do music education, music theory, the history of music, right? Music performance, all throughout is it our 3rd floor? Can someone help me out? Is music on the 3rd floor?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So all around our 3rd floor, we have actually like a piano practice room. We have all these soundproof rooms where you can practice, right? A piano lab. We have a lot of great access to facilities, to technology for those that are looking for careers or maybe bachelor music programs right after Harold Washington. Like I mentioned earlier, we have our own audio recording lab here on campus. And with theater, so we don't have a theater on campus, but who needs one when literally the Chicago Theater is around the corner from our school. And so our Loop Players group, that's our theater group here, does all sorts of work throughout the year so that you can really learn about the craft, right? Stage makeup, improv, right? Theater, the lights, the cameras, all the back end work that happens behind the curtain. And then, of course, acting, right? What are the fundamentals of acting? What is it, if you are looking for an acting career, what are the things that you need to work on now? So just want to introduce those two, just because, again, because of our location, we are really looking at what other academic and career opportunities are there for our students. And then I'm going to show you a little dance clip so that you can hear a little bit more directly from our students and our faculty about the dance program here at Harold Washington. Wait, I'm going to pause it for a second. Can everyone hear it?
Yes, Carla.
Okay, thanks.
Students are benefiting from this program because it's a very rare and unique opportunity for students to take dance in a two-year college. So being able to offer these classes at a lower price at Harold Washington, and they're still state-of-the-art, highly accredited, very intense courses that are transferable to four-year institutions is such a unique and exciting opportunity for the students.
The student who wants to go into dance, just follow your instincts. If it's really something you want to do, if it's really your passion, just give it a try.
I'm really hoping to learn a lot of discipline and structure, really build some strength and flexibility so I can really advance in my dance career.
Oh, sorry. So that video that you saw highlights our dance program. So for some time, so now we have a dance studio on our ground floor, but for some time we didn't. And so Joffrey Ballet was incredible, and our students had access to their studio, to some of their faculty, and some of their performers, so that they were collaborating with our staff here at Harold Washington, and really helping our students advance in that, in dance, right? But now, thanks to our partnership with Joffrey, we have our own studio as well at Harold Washington. The next department I want to highlight, and if I'm going quickly, and if you guys have any questions as I highlight again, make sure to put it in the chat, is our biology department. So we have a ton of science courses for both majors and non-majors in biology. So this is a great thing to think about, because it's a great stepping stone to careers in medicine, allied health, biotechnology, molecular biology, and other biological fields. As our president mentioned earlier, you know, we have state-of-the-art labs, biology labs, chemistry labs, right? Physics labs here on campus. And the other thing that we have within this biology department is a cadaver theater. So students are able to work on, you know, the type of things that they'd be working on if they were to continue a career path in biology. And again, we offer general courses as a part of a core curriculum for the Arts of Associates or the Arts of Science. But then we have very specialized courses for certificates and degrees in medical, dental, nursing, and paramedical areas as well through the Associates of Applied Science. And so again, this could be a stepping stone if you're looking to get that bachelor's, or if you want to get into the medical careers from there. I know that some of our sister colleges, their center of excellence is in health sciences. But what I wanted, my intention for highlighting this as well is, you know, we do have a lot of students that come to us to take those science courses simply because we are maybe more centrally located for those students, and also because we have more students, sometimes our schedule and the courses are available more broadly for students. So I just want to highlight that. The lab department is equipped with a modern labs, a microbiology lab, molecular biology lab, a general biology lab, a research lab for our cell biology courses, and a research plant lab, and as well as, again, that cadaver theater that you guys could see in one of those pictures. I try to like blot out all the graphic things, so I hope it's all right for you guys to see. And then the last area that I'll focus on is our world languages. So we do have 5 languages on campus. And so if you're looking for a career as an educator, teaching a language, or perhaps as a translator, Harold Washington is a great place for you to do that. And we're also one of the only city colleges that has a study abroad program. Last year, our students went to France. And so we partnered with a academic institution in Paris, and our students were there for 2 weeks. Our world language department, again, offers classes in Chinese, French, Italian, Japanese, Spanish, and then we also have specialized courses for heritage Spanish learners. So for those students that maybe have some foundation in Spanish, but want to continue advancing. And the reason I bring this up is, you know, knowing a second language and speaking a second language is so important for the workforce and the workplace. It's always an added bonus when you are applying to four-year institutions or when you're applying to schools to have a second language on your resume. So this is a great resource and opportunity for you here at Harold Washington. And again, if you're looking to do education and maybe teach a language, or maybe even in business or in medicine, if you're looking at those fields, a second language and learning a second language is a huge advantage. All right, guys, so I am going to stop talking for a little bit, and we're going to hear again from our students, and they are going to talk a little bit about a partnership that we have with DePaul University here at Harold Washington. So I'll go ahead and stop talking and give it to Karen and Pedro.
Hello everyone, my name is Karen Tolentino. I am actually a Lane Tech High School graduate, class of 2019. I'm also a STAR Scholar and part of the DePaul Harold Washington Academy. Currently at Harold Washington, I'm striving towards getting my associate's degree in arts. I'm also here with another DePaul Harold Washington Academy student, and I'm going to pass it on to him.
Hi everyone, I'm Pedro Covarrubias. I'm a Lane Tech graduate, class of 2019 as well. I am part of the DHWA, and I'm currently pursuing Associates in Arts at Harold Washington College. So the DePaul Harold Washington Academy is a new partnership between Harold Washington and DePaul University. As you guys know, many students come into Harold with the intention of pursuing a bachelor's degree in a four-year university after they complete their associates. And this program allows it to be as seamless as ever. So how does it work? So the DePaul Harold Washington Academy, first of all, is for CPS students who are interested in pursuing a bachelor's degree at DePaul, since the program is based on you going to DePaul after you get your associates. And it's also for the students who are STAR Scholarship eligible. So you'll hear more about the STAR Scholarship later on, but just as a reminder, 3.0 GPA, graduating from CPS. Also for your SAT scores, you earn a 460 in the English SAT or a 440 in the math SAT. And basically you earn your associate's degree at DePaul, at Harold. And then there's a seamless transfer into DePaul University to finish your bachelor's degree in whatever you want. One of my favorite parts about this partnership is you have access to both colleges. So you have two IDs. You have one ID for Harold and one ID for DePaul. You have access to the student center, the library, the career and advising services, and the tutoring. Plus, you get all the fun things, like you get access to their gym and the Lincoln Park campus, and you can go to their athletic games for free, which DePaul's a D1 school, so all the sports games you go to will be good, I promise you. And you also get to go to the DePaul concerts and the festivals they throw in the spring. So, and then as soon as you start the program, you feel like you're a part of both communities. It's like I never feel left out of either school. And you don't have to worry about getting lost or anything because the new student orientation in the summer is at both campuses. So not only do you explore Harold, but you also explore DePaul. So I'm gonna pass it back down to Karen to continue.
So I agree with Pedro about how cool it is to have access to both colleges. But personally, my favorite part is having the experience of being downtown at both campuses. So between walking from Harold to DePaul, it's only less than 5 blocks, and it helps me familiarize myself with downtown since we are in the heart of Chicago. At DePaul as well, we have one entire floor dedicated to the students, and that makes it easier to travel between classes because it's all in one floor. I feel like the most important part about this program, though, is how affordable it is. As a STAR scholarship at Harold Washington, your first 2 years of tuition is free. So after you complete your associate's degree through this program, you would be able to pursue your bachelor's at DePaul. And if you do transfer to DePaul, you'll be eligible for state, federal, and institutional financial aid to complete your degree.
So if you don't know what your major is right now and you're undecided, you don't have to worry because while you're at Harold Washington College, you can start exploring the DePaul majors and talking to your DePaul advisor, which will be assigning you if you join the program. But as you get your associates, even though your classes are going to be at the DePaul campus, they will be taught by Harold Washington College professors, meaning that you will be based off Harold Washington's academic and grading policies. So you're on a semester-based system and not the quarter system that DePaul has. But if you're interested in being part of this, this is what you need to know, just a little roundup. You need to be a STAR Scholar. You need to apply to both DePaul and Washington. And if you apply to DePaul only, if you get waitlisted or if you just get denied, they will recommend you to this program. And you will get an email. And I recommend that you apply as early as possible, just because, like any other college, the spots fill up. And you submit your application to Harold if you haven't already, and then send your FAFSA information to Harold Washington as well, because they're in charge of you. You're technically a Harold Washington student. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a really good program. I really recommend you guys look into it, just because it's, especially if you're trying to get into DePaul for after the 2 years at Harold.
Yes, I agree. And if you have any questions about the program, Pedro and I are free. We'll be answering your questions through the chat. So feel free. Thank you so much.
We also have Dean Cuevas. She is one of our administrators that helps coordinate and lead this program at our college. And so if you have any questions about the program, again, please make sure to use the chat feature, and she's here to answer any questions. Dean Cuevas, did we miss anything, or is there anything else you want to highlight about the DePaul Harold Washington Academy?
No, you did a great job. I think the only thing I want to highlight is that we are currently sponsoring informational sessions from now through the end of the CPS academic year. So I will encourage you guys to attend those. And by doing that, there is a link that I can put in the chat where you can apply so that you can get invited to those informational sessions. Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys. So now another program that I want to highlight for you as high school students currently is our early college program. And our speaker for that presentation is our Assistant Dean of Early College, Ms. Kim Bowens.
Good morning, guys. How are you doing today? Well, I'm super excited that we can do this virtual presentation. Again, the program that I'm going to share with you guys is Early College, which is a pre-college program. So it's specifically for students who are still in high school, either juniors or seniors in high school. Next slide.
Give me a second.
I'm going to talk to you guys about three main programs. Dual enrollment is one, dual credit, and then some of our fellowship and our certificate programs. So for dual enrollment is open to any student that's a junior or senior in the city of Chicago attending a CPS school or a resident of Chicago. So we want to make sure that all students have access and opportunity to this program, including homeschool students as well. The good thing about dual enrollment is it's free to you, right? So we will waive the cost of your tuition. CPS, if we were in a face-to-face situation, CPS would provide you with transportation. And then of course, we would also provide you with a textbook, either a loaner or a book voucher or something so you can get the materials for your class. The next program is a partnership that we have for dual credit. Next slide. Oh, well, let me talk about the eligibility for dual enrollment. So for dual enrollment, again, it's for high school juniors and seniors, right? If you're a homeschool student, you must be 16 years old. You can enroll in one class per semester for dual enrollment, free of cost. Tuition will be waived. And it's pretty simple. There are 3 quick steps, or perhaps 4 quick steps that I'll go through at the end of this presentation for those of you who may be interested. Our next program is dual credit. So dual credit is a partnership that we have with CPS only, right? And these are courses that are offered within your high school. So some of your high schools have partnered with various city college campuses to offer dual credit. The good thing about dual credit is you don't have to leave your high school building if you were in your building to take these courses, right? What we do is we credential one of your high school teachers that also meets the credentials to be a college professor. So they can teach at the college level and in your high school. You can take multiple dual credit courses if you're taking dual credit. So you're able to leverage dual credit and dual enrollment if you want to start banking those college credits early, okay? The eligibility is pretty much the same for dual enrollment, right? You have to meet the prerequisite for the class, and there are a couple of other things that you have to do in terms of onboarding. So next slide. Next slide, Carla. I also want to talk about some of our fellowships and our certificate programs. So we have a fellowship, and you guys may have heard of it. It's called Jumpstart to Jobs. Jumpstart to Jobs is a banking certificate. It's a banking program for high school seniors. And the individuals who complete that program, when they graduate from high school, they also have earned their banking certificate. It's an 18 credit hour certificate, and we're partnered with Fifth Third Bank and with CPS. And many of these students have the opportunity to work internships or go into the banking field while they're still in, while they're transitioning to college. The other program that we have is an architecture fellowship. And in that fellowship, we are partnered with the Chicago Architecture Center, CAC, and you can also earn your basic certificate in architecture. So that's another great partnership for individuals that want to pursue architecture. And of course, you guys may have heard of the CPFTA program, which is the Chicago Police and Fire Training Academy program. So students who are interested in that program, they are juniors and seniors at CPS. They're also engaging in the certificate program through the Police and Fire Academy, but students who are interested in criminal justice can also take college level courses at Harold Washington to pursue that credential. So what are some of the benefits you guys may be asking, right? Because high school is already challenging enough, right? What are some of the benefits for doing early college? Well, it will help to reduce the cost of your college education. As we all know, if we haven't talked about the cost of college on this virtual session, it will be covered, but college is very expensive, right? And so this is a way where you can start earning those college credits for free which will transfer to various universities within Illinois and just across the nation. It will help to reduce the time it will take for you to graduate from college. So if you decide to start your college experience early, some students are even pursuing their master's degree right after college, right? Because if you can get a year, completed while you're still in high school, that's another year that you can add on to the back end if you want to pursue a master's degree program. Students can earn a minimum, you can earn up to 30 credit hours in this program depending on how many courses you take and when you start. And you're also exposing yourself to vigorous college courses. So this is helping to build you up and be a better and a stronger college student. Next slide. So the easy thing, how to apply, right? We try to make this as easy as possible. If Carla didn't walk you through the online application, at some point that information may be shared with you, but you just have to apply online. That's the first step. There is a dual enrollment permission form that needs to be completed. We have a virtual form now that you can complete and you don't have to get signatures from your high school. All students have to meet the eligibility for the class, so you may have to take either an English or a math placement test. And then we're offering virtual dual enrollment registration sessions. So we have 5 advisors that help us onboard students. So should you be interested in attend one of those sessions, we will have a virtual orientation and you will be able to go into a breakout room with one of the advisors and select the class that you would like to enroll in for summer or fall. So if you choose to do both semesters, you can do that, or you can do summer or fall. It's your choice.
Thanks so much, Kim.
Last slide? Last slide?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So just make sure that they have my contact information. If any students are interested, they can contact me via email or phone. Okay.
Yes, and I do have everyone that is presenting will have, I have everyone's contact information at the end of the presentation.
Oh, perfect. Well, thanks for allowing me into your space, and you guys have a good Friday. I hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much, Dean Bowens.
All right, thank you.
All right, guys, how is everyone feeling? Can you tell me in the chat how you're feeling? We've been together for an hour and a half, and we only have 2 more sections left, and we hope that these next sections are really engaging. So you're going to hear from some of our students and their experience here, and then last but not least, you'll hear about some of the ways that we have so that you guys can pay for college. So how is everyone feeling so far? It's been a long time. Feeling pretty good about Harold Washington. I love that. How are you guys feeling? Anybody else? Great. Everybody's engaged. I love it. Thank you so much for adding your comments. And again, this next section for us is going to be, you're going to hear about the students, our student voices. And so we have a student panel, and you'll be able to hear a little bit about, what it is that they, what their experience is, what are they studying, why they chose Harold Washington, so on and so forth. So I'm gonna have our wonderful students introduce themselves shortly. Let me just make sure I didn't miss any information for Dean Bowens. So, and again, I have some information at the end of the presentation that will give you everything from how do you apply, when's the last day to apply, who do I contact, all of that is at the end. And as well as Dean Bowen's contact information will also be at the end. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and give my students a few minutes to, oh, sorry. I'm gonna stop sharing. All right, guys, so why don't the student ambassadors introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself. So what I want to hear is your name, what you're studying, what high school or neighborhood you came from, and then something interesting. So why don't you tell me, if you had a superpower, what it would be and why? And then for students that have, for any participant that is on the Zoom webinar with your phone, scroll to the right so that you could see all of the panelists, everybody that's talking, so you could see their voices and their faces as they're talking. So Harold Washington students.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay, so my name is Karen Ramirez. I've been at Harold for 5 semesters. Every semester is like 4.5 months, so it's really not that long. I'll be graduating in the fall 2020, and I am majoring in business. The reason why I chose Harold is because it's like they mentioned, it's in the center of Chicago. So it's like, if you're a student like me, like if you have gaps between your classes, you have, we literally were around like a bunch of stores so you could go shopping. We don't have a cafeteria, which is like bad from our part, but however, we still have like a bunch of food restaurants around us. So like you don't have a limited of options. You're not limited to options. Like you could literally go out to eat at Pan Express, Subway, wherever, like whatever's around there. Or you could also like go hang out with your friends at Millennium Park and just go shopping with them and so on. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Tyler. This is my second year here at Harold Washington. This semester that's about to end is my last semester here. I'm graduating with my general degree in liberal arts. I graduated from Kenwood Academy High School at Hyde Park, and if I could have a superpower, it would be super speed, because you'd be able to get places. You'll be able to get to any place you want to as fast as you want to.
Hi, my name is Adriana. I am a student ambassador from Harold Washington. I've been in Harold Washington like for 1.5 years. I choose Harold Washington because like it seemed to be a good college, and it's like it was closer to my house. I'm from Hyde Park. So it usually doesn't take me that long. When I graduated from high school, I didn't start right away. So it took me like about 4 years to decide to go to Harold Washington. And my superpower will be being strong, like be able to break anything without even having a hard time. And also my major is biology.
Hi everyone, my name is Mason. My major is public policy. And I actually didn't start at Harold Washington. I started at Truman and then Malcolm X. And then I settled on Harold because of the large student body. That's what I look for in a student environment. I love the student life at Harold. On campus, there are a lot of places to hang out in between classes. There are computer labs on the 4th floor. There's a quiet room in the library. I was actually a part of student government. And besides student government, there are a lot of other clubs and organizations you can join. And like all my other peers here, I am also a student ambassador, supporting the Associate Dean of Student Services, Dean Cuevas. And if I had a superpower, it would be to read minds.
Great, thanks guys. Thanks for the introduction. So in our chat earlier, some of the students mentioned one of their worries was paying for college and affording college and the cost of college. So tell me a little bit about some of the opportunities that exist at Harold Washington when it comes to students that need extra money. So are there jobs, are there opportunities that students could take advantage of while they're in school so they can get extra cash?
Yeah, so I can discuss the federal work-study program. And so the federal work-study program provides students with an opportunity to earn money for school by working part-time. All the jobs are located on campus, and work-study students work 10 to 20 hours per week. One piece of advice if you want to do work-study is to apply early. The positions are limited, and they're offered to students who are enrolled in at least 9 credit hours, so at least part-time, on a first-come, first-served basis until basically all the funds are gone. So apply early if you want to do work-study.
Yeah, so like Mason said, they are first come, first serve. However, we do have a career service center at Harold Washington College, which is in the 11th floor. It's an office where they help you explore like employment opportunities, whether like you're a student now, and even after you graduate, they'll help you get a job. They also help you out with your resume. So if you don't know how to type up your resume, how to format it, they could also help you out with that as well. Also, if you have like a job interview coming up and you feel like you're not ready, they help you practice for it. They'll put you in a room and they'll help you out. They also host workshops and campus job fairs, on-campus job fairs. They also have a bunch of companies coming in. So like they mentioned earlier, their partnership with a bunch of companies such as like Amazon, the banks, Target, just general, there's a variety of companies coming in during those campus job fairs. They also, Harold is known for their business and professional services. So like they are partnered with a bunch of they're partnered with a bunch of companies that give students apprenticeships and internships. So they basically what they do, like I said, is help you build up your resume and train up for those jobs.
Speaking of other programs that are on the 11th floor, like Career Center, like Karen mentioned, we also have a lot of partners with the school in the building, like partnerships with partnerships with companies like Gear Up that are in the building, and One Goal and Bottom Line, which are partners of Harold Washington, but not in the building. Gear Up is a program that starts at high school. Some of the top feeder schools are Gear Up schools that come here at Washington. They help students make sure that they are doing well with their classes in school and getting good grades. If you are a new student, they help you through all the admission steps as far as applying to Harold Washington and applying to school. They also begin prepping students for the next steps, either to transfer to a four-year university or to get a job. In the Year Up program, students have the chance to both go to school and work. Students sign up for a year-long program with Year Up. One semester they take classes and earn a certificate, and the other semesters they are at a company downtown, working in either banking, insurance, finance, and technology.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for sharing some of that. I know one of our ambassadors is also a 1 million degree scholar. So Adriana, do you want to say anything about 1 million degrees, one of our partners that's in the college?
Yeah, sure. So like how Carla said, I'm one of the scholars from 1 million degree. 1 million degree is a nonprofit organization in Chicago. We have the opportunity to have the partnership with Harold Washington. What they do is like they help you to build up your resume, your cover letter. They also help you to apply with any job that you want, or that is, like based on your major. For example, me, like my major is biology. So what they do is they help me to apply with the Share Aquarium, or, the zoo here from the Lincoln Park Zoo, or anything related to my major, which is really good. Also, they help you financially. Every semester, by the end of the semester, you get a check, which is like around $250, and it's really good. Also, if you are having problems with your with any of your classes, they offer tutoring, which means that you get to work with face to face to one of the tutors that they have there. I believe their application is the last day to apply for 1 million degrees on May 16th. But you could also contact Maria Gonzalez. She's one of the program coordinators. I will post her contact information here in the chat, like just in case you guys want to apply for 1 million degrees. Also, I am a full-time student, which means that I have like more than 12 credits. If you're full-time or part-time, you get to you can apply to the CTA Venture Card. If you're full-time, you get it for free. If you're a part-time, you get it you have to pay $40 for it. Part-time means that if you have from 9 to 11 credits, that's when you have to pay for the Venture Card. If you're a full-time, means that you have more than 12 credits hours.
Thanks, Adriana. Thanks so much, guys, for sharing some of the resources that exist on campus. And I actually want to talk a little bit more about, since we went into partners, I want to talk about some of the support services that are at Harold Washington. Again, based on the chat, I think some of the worries that students have is, what if I didn't do so good in high school? I'm worried that I won't do so well at Harold Washington. So can you tell me about some of the different departments and support services that exist at Harold Washington for students?
Sure. I think one of the things I always take advantage of here on campus is tutoring, especially when I have a difficult class like math and science. Especially to me, math is my strong suit, so I always go to tutoring for help with that. So you can go to tutoring learning resources that is located in room 409 on the 4th floor. There they have tutors that are available to help you in general assignments. Each department has their own tutor space throughout the building. Those tutors help with specific topics like science, math, and music, for example. All tutoring services are free. There is one-on-one and group tutoring sessions that are available as well. Next to the tutoring center on the 4th floor, there's also the writing lab that's dedicated to helping you not typing your essays and research papers for you, but helping you edit them to the best of their ability. And of course, there's a library in case you need access to a book for one of your classes, or if you need a quiet room to study by yourself or with a small group of people. That is located on the 5th floor above the tutoring center. And we also have tutoring online 24/7 if you can't stay in the building for tutoring.
Okay, so for me, a lifesaver that has helped me out a lot at Harold was the advisors. So we do suggest that you meet with your advisor once a semester just to know what classes you're taking, what classes you should take for the next semester, what career you're gonna choose, and so on, just to know your goal setting basically. They also help you out with career options. So like they mentioned earlier, if you don't know what to major in, they could help you out with that and take certain classes, certain steps to get there. They also if I have a general question about something that I don't have access to, they could help me out with that and direct me to oh, you could go to this department, talk to these people. They help me out with the certain resources I need. And also you are assigned a specific advisor, and you have that advisor throughout the whole time you're there. You are able to change advisors. They also, if you want to meet with your advisor, you could schedule an appointment online through Grades First, like they mentioned earlier. But also, they do have walk-in hours. So if you aren't able to schedule an appointment or all the appointment times are taken up already, you could meet with them during those walk-in hours with your advisor or just any advisor, and they could help you out with any quick question you have.
So for me, one of the main or the much more important resource that we have here in Harold Washington is the Transfer Center. Like I said, my last semester is on the spring 2021. So what I do is what I like about the Transfer Center is that they help you with the research about which school you want to go to. Also, the transfer advisor, her name is Ellen Gollenberg. She's located on the 11th floor. You're more than welcome to go there and ask her, because she offers you a lot of resources for you to like not, for example, you don't have to, some institutions, they want you to pay for the application fee. So like what she does is she gets you to not to pay for it, like, you know, for the application fee. She also helps you to apply for the for any scholarship that you want. I would suggest that like before, like 2 or 3 semesters before you graduate, you go and talk to her, because she does really help you. They also help you with like they explain you what which courses are transferable, so you don't have to, you know, retake it again. And they sometimes hold some workshop fairs. They also invite some of the universities that is you know, like for example, last semester before the COVID-19 happened, we had many, like I would say 20 schools that were there in Harold, Washington, either like colleges and universities. You get to apply and talk to them. They're there for you to answer any of your questions. Also, and yeah, that's it.
And anything else that we missed?
Yeah, so I can mention some other really popular resources on campus. So we have the Wellness Center, which offers personal and group counseling. You can go there to talk to somebody if you feel stressed or if you need help with time management. They also do referrals to community resources, including low-cost medical or dental care, emergency housing, groceries, legal services, and childcare. Those are all available to you. We have the Disability Access Center, or the DAC for short. They provide support services for students with documented disabilities. Excuse me. So the college does a really good job at integrating students with disabilities into every course and program. We also have an office for veteran and military services. We have a legal clinic, a loaner laptop program, and office hours for all of our professors. So there are a lot of great resources. And if you don't know where to go for help, normally you can just go to room 101 and ask one of us, but we also have a virtual student services desk set up now. So if you have any questions, you can log into there and ask one of us as well.
Thanks so much, guys. So I'm going to leave this time open. If any of the students of our participants or audience has any questions for our students, this is the time to ask. So do you have any questions about their experience? Anything that you want to hear directly from their student, just let us know in the chat. And then I am gonna, the next presentation we have up, it will be short, and we'll answer more questions at the end as well. So I just saw a question, what are the opportunities for undocumented students? So I think Dean Cuevas is still in the presentation, so she can help me answer it, but we do have a couple of work study positions for undocumented students. We also have the STAR scholarship that you become eligible regardless of your status for the STAR scholarship. If you don't qualify for the STAR scholarship this year, undocumented students were also allowed or granted permission to apply for the state MAP grant. And so you do that by submitting a RISE application. So when it comes to financial aid and jobs, there's some opportunities to support undocumented students just with tuition. Other than that, I think we do have a undocumented student club. Throughout the year, we have a lot of events to help connect you with resources. We invite community partners to come in and discuss any of the issues that you might be facing. And then here's a huge added bonus for me. I'm really proud. We are the only city college that has a legal clinic. So we have a legal clinic in the the school, you can go to them for legal advice. And this is not just immigration, this is anything. And they can point you in the right direction, or if it's something easy, go ahead and give you legal advice so that you can proceed with resolving your issue there and then. So there are a lot of really great opportunities for and resources for undocumented students. Our professors are always sort of involved in the movement. They're educators and they're very responsive and understanding of every one of our students. And so you will see that our community is just really friendly it's really friendly to immigrant students generally. And we're really diverse population, and you'll see it. You'll see it in the language that we use, in the signage, in all of the supports that exist. So I hope I was able to answer your question, but that we're a great institution for any of our immigrant populations. Anything else, guys? All right, so I am going to let our Assistant Director of Financial Aid, Ms. Kayla Wheatley, take over, and she's going to tell you a little bit about financial assistance. Can you guys see my screen? Yes.
All righty. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Carla. All right, so today I am going to go over paying for your education. How can you pay for school? Of course, that's probably one of the most important conversations that we want to have with our students. And so I'm just going to go through a couple of slides to go over some really important information with you.
And you might have to skip over some of these slides. These are just the resources.
Okay. Sorry, guys, it's not letting me, Carla.
Oh, give me a second.
Okay.
Let's hide this. All right, now you should be able to just hit the arrow.
Okay, all righty. So let's dive right in. All right, so in order to see if you're eligible for financial aid, we do recommend that you complete the 2020-2021 free application for federal student aid, also known as the FAFSA. I have attached the link in this PowerPoint so that you all can jot that down. Every award year, the following award year is available as of October 1st. So for example, this year on October 1st, you can actually apply for the 2021-2022. I know that's a mouthful, but it's always available a year in advance. For fall 2020 through summer 2021, it is based on your 2018 tax information. And if you are considered a dependent student, it will be based on your parents' tax information as well. By completing the FAFSA application, we can also determine if you're eligible for things such as the federal and state grants. We have things like the federal Pell Grant, the FSEOG grant, the Illinois MAP grant. Those are some of the things that are considered gift aid money that you will not have to pay back. Now, with completing your FAFSA, some of the things that can happen is you can be selected for verification. And basically what that means is the Department of Education wants to determine or compare some of the information that you entered on your application for verification purposes. So sometimes they'll verify the members in your household. Or sometimes they'll verify that the financial data. Okay. From this, once we receive your student aid report, we can then send out the award letters to you all, which are sent to your CCC email addresses.
Sorry, tell me where to go, Tequila.
For the award letters?
No, just the slides.
Okay, so we can stop here and I can go over it really quickly. So again, just some of the free money, the gift aid money that you will not have to pay back. The federal Pell Grant, which is what most of our students utilize. There's also the federal work study, in which you're able to find on-campus employment, and it also assists in paying your tuition. The federal, can you go back? There we go. The Federal Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grant, and then again, the State of Illinois Monetary Award Program, or the MAP grant. City colleges and Harold Washington also offers various scholarships. To circle back around to the one you mentioned earlier, which is the STAR Scholarship. Just going over some of the requirements, you have to have a 3.0 GPA and be a graduate of a Chicago public school. And you must also have a score of a 17 on your ACTs. There is a link attached to this presentation as well, so that you're able to see different scholarships that are offered through city colleges. And then we also accept external scholarships as well. A lot of students use different partnerships and scholarships through employers as well. Another thing that's available for students who may not qualify for the grant money, we do have federal loans or direct loans, the subsidized and unsubsidized loans. You can be awarded with that as well. Okay, we can go to the next slide. All righty. So just, well, actually, Carla, I'm going to go quickly through this one because we went through the different. Yeah, so another thing, if you can go back really quickly, is that if you are affiliated with the Chicago Housing Authority, which is a rental assistance program, there is financial assistance available to you as well through the Chicago Housing Authority, or CHA. So make sure that you notify your financial aid department or connect with one of our advisors so that we can touch bases with you on that as well. Other payment options, like as I mentioned earlier, we do have different partnerships through different companies in which you can find employment and have your tuition and fees paid. Workforce Innovations and Opportunity is one that helps job seekers and workers, and also assist in paying for your tuition. We also have the CRCP program, which also assists in finding employment and also paying for your tuition. And then if you are over the age of 65, or if you know someone, there is a tuition waiver offered for that as well. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're always diligently checking your CCC email. That's where all of the communication from financial aid and every department will go. We can go to the next one. Thank you, Carla. And then make sure that you have your FAFSA completed as early as possible. Link with your parents if you need to get tax information. But as I mentioned earlier, it's always available October 1st of each year. And it's honestly about a 20-minute process. It will not take all day, guys. Monitor your FA status on your CCC portal. And then if you have a to-do list, make sure that you get those checklist items done. If there are any questions, of course, our financial advisors are available to help you out with that. All right, so this is just a screenshot of the financial aid to-do list so that you can kind of see how it will look. We don't want to ignore that because we want to make sure that you're getting your award letters in a timely manner. Again, make sure that you connect with us if you need any help with that. You can also apply for if you want to go back to the book voucher slide, Carla, there we go. If you want to apply for a book voucher, if there are still financial aid funds available after your tuition is paid, then you can do so. And we will actually email you the book voucher so that you can log into, I believe it's going to be Barnes & Noble for the fall, and purchase your books using financial aid as well. Make sure that you are attending class, guys. Even if we are remotely attending class online, that is a requirement to be eligible for financial aid. And then if you decide that you're not able to continue with the class, let financial aid know immediately so that we can make sure that you're not financially penalized for not being able to continue with your course. Okay. You also want to make sure that you pay attention to dates of importance. A lot of students use refund checks or funding that's left over after everything is paid for their personal living expenses. All of that information will also be available in your student portal. So never overlook the dates of importance so that you know when your funds are dispersing, when your refund check is coming, or when payments are actually due towards your account. This is just another screenshot of dates of importance. Okay, so another really important thing is that you maintain your SAP or your satisfactory academic progress. This is just basically making sure that you maintain a specific GPA, which is above a 2.0. If you are not able to maintain SAP, you are putting yourself at jeopardy of losing your financial aid. You want to make sure that you are completing your coursework in a timely manner. You want to make sure that the pace of your coursework is in a timely manner as well. If at any point you are on a warning or you feel that you are in jeopardy of falling below that 2.0, of course you want to connect with your advisor, but speak with financial aid as well.
Does anybody have any questions for Kayla? We've reached our the end of our presentation or virtual open house, and so what I want to do is make sure that we have enough time for you guys. If you have any questions about admissions, financial aid, or any of the programs that we went over. So before we fully conclude, do you guys have any questions?
I see one in the chat that says, can you all get my contact information? Of course. I know you said, Carla, you're gonna give all the contact info at the end of the presentation, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, you guys can email me at any time. I'm always here to help out.
Any other questions, guys?
What's the best path of someone that's not sure of a degree? For financial aid purposes, just make sure that if you're not sure of your degree, that's totally normal, but make sure that you are in a degree seeking program, whatever you decide to pursue when you enter college, so that you're eligible to receive financial aid. That is a requirement from the Department of Education.
And that's a great question. So what I would say, if you're not sure about what the best degree is for you, see your advisor. And my impression is that they are gonna try to find an answer, right? Try to get you to say, do you want to work right away, or are you on the path, even though you don't know what degree, are you on the path of transferring to a 4-year? And then based on that, they will give you some options of short degree so you can start working, or the degree so that you can take all of your gen eds, right? Get some time to explore your academic interest. And then once you're done with your gen eds, transfer to a 4-year and identify a major. All right, guys. So if no one has any more questions, the only thing that I want to share with you before we conclude is if you have not applied, these are the steps for application to Harold Washington. So it's really easy. You submit an online application. It takes about 6 minutes. In about 30 to an hour, 30 minutes to 60 minutes, you'll get a login and password. Because we are in this remote setting, you will be able to take both your English and your math placement test through your CCC portal. Once you've taken your placement test, you will see a link pop up that says register for new student orientation. And it's at new student orientation that you register for your fall classes. And then I see another question that I'll get to. If you are stuck, if your application is stuck and you haven't heard back, or you don't know your login and password, what I want you to do is I want you to email me. Email me right now and I'll respond back with what your next steps are. So let me give you my contact information, which should be the next screen. Actually, these are the deadlines for registration. So if you're looking at summer, the deadline is coming up. And if you're just looking to register in fall, we have until August 20th to register. And again, for those students that are worried about their application, what I want you to do is I want you to email me. This is my contact information. Take a screenshot or a picture on your phone and just email me and I'll be able to answer your application question. This is another screen that I want you, if you are able to just screenshot it or take a picture of it. This is the email of everyone that presented. So for those students that have specific questions about what degree, I'm not sure, I need to talk to an advisor. You guys see we have our advisor email on here. Our president email is on here as well. He is really accessible, wants to talk to you guys, wants to hear from you guys. And then I know everybody's nervous and worried about financial aid. And so Takela's information is also on there. Let me know if you guys need me to leave that screen up a little bit more, actually. Here it is. Thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate you being here. For those of you that stuck through the entire thing, you guys are really great. You were really engaging. And again, this is the page to screenshot or to take a picture of so you can connect with us. Thank you so much for being here.